Hello, welcome to the weather updates, July 9th, and a wet day across, very wet day across inland areas, and we had some heavier rain coming in through this early evening here on Long Island, and you can see all the bright white from this earlier satellite loop. We'll go ahead and look at the current one, and you'll see again this line of rain that's moving through. It seems like it's moving a little faster than we thought, and if we look at the latest radar here. You'll see that line of rain. There it is, right there on the radar. In fact, let's go to the enhanced. So here's that line of rain, and we had some showers that popped up, and now it's all shifting to the east. You can see numerous flash flood warnings inland where they've received a lot of rain. Flash flooding actually so bad it wound up suspending Metro North's Hudson line. So you can see here some really we got heavy rain, no, not actually severe thunderstorm, but just a lot of rain falling in certain areas with these storms. And so let's go to the other radar view we have, and we'll go to this one here. Again, you'll see that heavier rain that's been dogging the Hudson Valley all day long, still lingering, now moving into Connecticut. And we have some more heavier thunderstorms coming off the Jersey shore. This is all, again, moving toward the east. Let's go to our weather and hazards map here, and you'll see here all the flash flood warnings that are in effect tonight that we have in eastern Pennsylvania and some in New Jersey as well, and also in Westchester County, part of Westchester County and the Bronx. The rest of us are under a flood watch because of the heavy rain. Let's look at the observations we have. And it was a very humid day today. You can see that 73 at Islip, and the dew point is 73. So the air is completely just saturated today, and the humidity today I think the highest of all the days. Yesterday, we'll just briefly go over yesterday. And looking at yesterday, you can see we got into the. Yesterday was another warm, humid day. We got into the mid-80s. Wasn't quite as hot because we had more cloud cover. It's still very humid. And then, as far as today goes, we got into the low 80s. Not quite. We got not as warm today due to all the cloud cover. And you could see that rain that wound up occurring in the evening there at Islip. So let's go look at our highs for the day. And you can see generally low to mid 80s across the area. Not a big difference because of the cloud cover. And the main thing is the precipitation. That's where we've seen a lot. So let's go to the 24-hour precipitation total. And this is where things are going to get interesting. And you can see not too much on Long Island. But if you look inland where these flood warnings are, you'll see over 2 inches of rain. And actually, look at that. Some areas got even more. 5 inches at Teetertown. Oh, my God. 4.13 inches at Basking Ridge, New Jersey. So these are some insane rainfall rainfall amounts. And I kind of alluded to that this could happen on Friday night because we had a lot of training showers and thunderstorms. Look at that, 6.17 inches at Quakerstown Airport. So that's an insane amount of rain to have, and you can see this whole eastern Pennsylvania area into the Jersey Shore didn't get that much. They got around a half an inch to 3/4 of an inch so far, but going into some of these areas here, I mean, this is insane. And last night I made a post about flooding in Oklahoma due to thunderstorms, and here we have more flooding here. 4.38 at High Point in New Jersey, so you're talking over 3-4 inches of rain in certain areas. And then you go into the Hudson Valley, and you're also dealing with some really heavy rain amounts. Over 3 inches here at Peekskill, 3.60, and still raining, 3.75, 3.69 at Stony Kill. So these are the kind of rains that have been happening upstate, and we go further upstate here. And you'll see it continues here, 2.76 in Salt Point, 3.10 at Housatonic River at Falls Village. So, yeah, these areas in Westchester have had a lot of flooding, flash flooding, and you can see even parts of Greenwich there in Connecticut, 2.06 inches. But Long Island, not seeing all that much here. Some of the areas where the Nassau County that's gotten the heavier rain have gotten 3/4 of an inch. Suffolk, barely anything. A few light showers, and that's pretty much it. Nothing really too crazy there. Let's go to the Weather Service page. And let's see, they do have rainfall reports too, so let's go to that. So we'll look at these rainfall reports too. These are the rainfall reports here. Passaic County, 2.92, and apparently that's 7.71 at the U.S. Military Academy in Orange County. My gosh. Montgomery Airport, Montgomery 5.13 inches. Putnam County 3.68 inches. Rockland County, you have a maximum of 3.90, and Peekskill 3.14, and it's still raining, so not going to spend too much time on that, but because we're going to go over it again tomorrow. But I tell you, it's crazy, huh? We weren't expecting that much rain, but this is what happens. You have a lot of humidity, and this is what happens. We'll briefly go over today's statistics for Islip. We were 2 degrees above normal for Islip today, and we can go to yesterday's as well. Islip hit 84. We were 3 degrees above normal yesterday, and I'll put in Central Park for yesterday. Central Park for today got up to 82, so just 2 degrees above normal for the day. It's mainly because of the warm overnight lows, and then for yesterday, it hit 88 in Central Park. So it was closer to 90 in Jersey yesterday and inland more, but Long Island, it wasn't too bad. Just a very high humidity. But it's all about that rainfall right now tonight that we're dealing with. And it is because if we go to the weather map here, you'll see we have a low pressure area here. It's bringing lots of warm and humid air, bringing some lift in the atmosphere, producing all this rain. Drier air off to the west, but just a little bit drier. Sorry, my allergies are just bad. A little bit drier, and and again, we have, we'll go to the MODIS satellite here, show you again what's going on. So you see again, all these bright white clouds. That's where all the heavy rain is. And then looking west, looks like a lot of smoke coming out of, we're going to be dealing with more smoke again, I have a feeling. This is all coming from western Canada. There's some pretty thick smoke. And we'll talk about that more, I think, tomorrow, as we'll have more of an idea about it, of where it's going to be going. So let's go to the weather maps now, and we'll look at the jet stream pattern. So you can see we got all that moisture coming up. I got a little trough coming in here, a little weak trough, but we still have this really weird ridge that's surging all the way into Greenland, which is absolutely nuts. Into Wednesday, you can see that, and then we have some semi-zonal flow before another little trough comes in, but we're on the right side of that trough, which means more humidity for us, and that continues. And we can look at the European, and it's probably the same deal, but we will go ahead and look at the European as well. So here's the European, and it looks fairly similar. Again, look at that huge ridge going all the way up there. That's crazy. So we'll go to the upper air. So you can see troughs in the middle there. We got this huge ridge in Canada and Greenland, which is absolutely crazy. That's going to cause a lot of heat over there. And for us, you can see not really any huge heat ups, semi-zonal flow. So the pattern's changed a little bit. And that we'll have a little more of a zonal flow, I think. Let's go to the GFS. You can see, again, that trough kind of stays in the middle one. It starts changing a little bit as you get toward the end. So we'll go to the temperature anomaly chart now, because this is where things are going to be interesting. And you can see those way above normal temperatures going on in Greenland there. That's not good at all. Extreme northern Quebec, and also western Canada, too. Below normal in the Midwest. For us, you can see above, near normal to slightly above normal. No record heat, but it will be above normal consistently for the rest of probably for the remainder of this, at least this month. Right now, that's what it's looking like. So let's go to the surface, and you'll see here on the surface map. Once we get rid of the rain tomorrow, we'll have dry weather, fair weather for this week. Our next rain chances will probably be Thursday, on Friday, more low pressure, and then next week, more rain chances again for the weekend. It looks like perhaps with another low and cold front, and then another high kind of tries to build in here. But you can see it is kind of wet. We do seem to have a lot of rain chances in this forecast for the East Coast in general. If we look at the total accumulated precip here, you'll see there is quite a bit more rain that's going to be coming. They're going to be dealing with this month, and it does extend into at least into some of Quebec. But generally speaking, you can see the East Coast is going to be wet, and the West Coast is going to be dry. So, yeah, we're going to be dealing with a lot of unsettled weather and humidity as we go into the forecast. Let's go to the HRRR model now, and this is the HRRR total accumulated precip, and it is showing that we could see tonight into Monday some of the heavier rain that's been over Westchester moving over us and giving us 2 inches of rain. Like I said, we could use it, so it's not a problem. Let's go to the reflectivity here, and you'll see here again that heavier rain moves over us tonight, and it's going to be with us at least until tomorrow in the morning. We'll have some heavy rain, and again, it could be thunderstorms with it, and then after that, you should be done. Maybe an isolated shower tomorrow night, and then fairer weather returns by Tuesday. Looking at your dew points on wind flow, you see southeast winds, very humid air. The winds do become westerly, which will eventually lower the dew points a little bit tomorrow night, but more so on Tuesday, where we might actually see some 50-degree dew points west of the city, maybe in New Jersey, but more or less, probably most likely 60-degree dew points. But with that west wind, it's going to be a warm air mass. So let's go look at our air temperatures here. Not going to drop much tonight. Going to be in the 70s tomorrow. Won't warm up that much due to the cloud cover, probably 75 to 80. If you're in Jersey, maybe you'll get a little more sun, so you get in the low 80s. It'll drop a little more tomorrow night into the mid-60s, and then for Tuesday, we should get probably into the mid-80s, maybe close to the 90 in New Jersey, with lower humidity. Looking at the GFS here, should go ahead and look at that. You'll see the drier air coming in for Tuesday, and then for Wednesday, you see it's still some humidity around. We have a southwesterly wind that's going to bring in warmer air. We're not going to see any of that drier air up here. That's not going to come here because the southwest wind turns into a southerly flow by Thursday and Friday, and here we are back in the humidity by the week's end. And some pretty high humidity Friday and Saturday, dew points well into the 70s. It's going to be really tropical. And see that continue on Sunday and right through. So a lot of humidity there, which means a lot of, and then it looks like there's maybe a stall front there. So this is a ways out, but we're going to be dealing with a lot of tropical air. So although it's going to be warm the next couple of days, enjoy the break from the humidity, at least. A little bit of a break. By Wednesday, though, we're going to start to heat up to near 90 again. And then Thursday, we back it off a little bit. And then we have that deep tropical flow for Friday, which will probably tendency to keep the temperatures down a little bit along the coast. Inland, it could heat up a little more. But you can still see significantly above normal with that tropical air flow. And again, if we look at our rain chances again on this GFS model, you'll see we're going to have Friday. We're going to be dealing with rain chances Saturday. So your weekend doesn't look so great. Maybe Sunday we'll be out of it, but that's a ways away. It's a ways away. So let's now go to the skies. So here we are in the skies, and you'll see tomorrow we'll have plenty of clouds around. But Tuesday we should have a good amount of sunshine, and maybe even some blue skies. We'll have to see if we have any smoke or not. That's something we won't know until tomorrow. And then for Wednesday, also showing some sunshine. So we'll have sunshine enjoy it, because once you get to Thursday and Friday, you're going to deal with a lot of clouds and a deep tropical flow with rain chances as we get there. So we're dealing with this just constant tropical flow up the East Coast. Unfortunately, we went from being too dry, and now we're going to be a hot, wet. Went from being below normal and dry in June to above normal temperatures and precipitation for July. That's what it's looking like, and that leads us to the climate outlook And the 6 to 10 day kind of matches up with that. See, it's got us in the above normal for precipitation. Not by much above normal, but I don't know. I think they're being a little too conservative. That's the 6 to 10 day, and then the 8 to 14 day. See, has us above normal, but most above normal in the south, as you see right there. So just more clouds, more showers, more rain chances to deal with as we go through this. At least enjoy the next once we dry out, enjoy it for the next couple of days. Storm Prediction Center for today. You can see that marginal risk for the east, that little marginal area right there. Let's go to the day 2. You can see it's got a little bit of a marginal risk over us, too. So maybe even a marginal risk for some strong to severe thunderstorms. Mostly it's over in the Midwest for tomorrow, it looks like. And I'll look at a few more models before we finish up here. Let's go to the NAM model, and we'll just look at the NAM 12 at 18Z for the precipitation here. So you can get an idea. Again, you can see it's actually generating a pretty line of heavy thunderstorms moving through in the middle of the night. These would mostly be the kind that would generate a lot of heavy rain. But we'll have to see what happens. And then, yeah, it's mainly tomorrow morning. But it's probably going to be mostly overnight, this heavy rain. But it looks like we will get in to some of that heavy rain. The NAM is suggesting that. So I guess what we'll do lastly is we'll go and we'll look at the Cape values on the thunderstorm threat. Obviously, there is some out there. You see some tonight. Let's go to the Monday morning. And you can see there is some Cape. So some of these storms could be strong to severe, perhaps. So we'll have to watch. I think mainly the main threat's just going to be heavy rain. But I don't think these are producing a lot of lightning. I'll go ahead and look right now at the storms, and they're really not producing much lightning on here. I'm not seeing a lot. It's mostly just a heavy rain threat that is going to be with these storms, I think. However, there are some power outages to report in New York State we'll look at here. And they're mainly in Putnam and Dutchess County, where we have 1,000. It's nothing terrible. It looks like Essex County upstate. Nothing really crazy. Let's look at Pennsylvania. Some of the areas of eastern Pennsylvania, because some of these storms could have had some strong winds. Sometimes the heavy rain will just bring down trees. But other than that, do some power outages in California, oddly enough. Looks like there's... Yeah, Mariposa, whatever reason is, there's a power outage situation there. But other than that, I think that's going to wrap up this weather update. So expect more rain, a wet evening, a wet overnight, and then a dry but hot break for Tuesday through Wednesday. And then as we get toward the end of this following week, get ready for more rain. So that's going to be it for this weather update. Have a good night.